Hello and welcome, my Gemini friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching my video. This is going to be a group reading for October Mercury Retrograde for my Gemini friends. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we just got through Mercury Retrograde and here we are again. I'm not going to get into depth into what Mercury Retrograde is. There's a lot of fantastic websites out there that will explain the scientific and implications of Mercury Retrograde. So this reading, we're going to look at what to kind of expect over the next 3 weeks, and then also some coping strategies to deal with all the events and situations that are going to arise. We can't control Mercury Retrograde and how it impacts things. However, we can start to control how we react. The deck I chose for this reading is Tarot de Nuit, and then I'll be ending off the session with an oracle blessing from the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Like always, I will have links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, my Gemini friends, let's see what the cards have to say. What card symbolizes Mercury Retrograde for my Gemini friends? Okay, got a jumper. Actually, you get 2. So you have 2 symbols. 2 for the price of 1. The first one, the 3 of Pentacles. 3s are about expression and growth. That pentacle is about growth and abundance. The 3 of Pentacles talks about teamwork and that skill building and trades mastery that we have. The second card that jumped out with it, the 3 of Wands. Wands are about that passion and growth. The 3 of Wands is usually a travel card. It's usually a fellow with 2 wands behind him, and he's got 1 wand in his hand, and here he goes. The wands are all about that passion and inner fire. So what we're looking at is that skill and mastery that is based through your passions. It also talks about the need for being at a precipice and a gateway. Mercury Retrograde will help you to that next level, and you're going to be finding that you're traveling a little bit further and deeper into your path. Now, we do have double 3s. In angel messages, when you're looking at a double 3 like that, it talks about having something close to your heart that needs to be expressed. And that's going to be an important part. That expression and that passion piece, something that you love to do, that's going to be highlighted throughout this the next couple of weeks. These 3 weeks are going to be really focused in on things that are close to your heart and you actually doing something. Let's look at the first week. What does the first week hold for my Gemini friends? The King of Swords. Kings are that fully developed personality. They have the most control and power, while swords are about truth and knowledge. The first week you're going to find that knowledge is not your friend. You're going to forget things. Things are not going to go your way. It's very even possible some of you may find that your boss becomes a tyrant at this time and is really hard to deal with. But knowledge is not going to be friendly to you. You're going to forget things. The first week, don't even try to study, like watch your studying. If you're in school, you're going to have to study. But if it's something that you're trying to do on the side and it's your passion, use your hands-on physical parts. Don't try and retain information. And be kind with yourself when you forget it, knowing that you're probably going to forget stuff. This will go better if you have your book right beside you, if you have things at hand that you can use. Be kind and gentle with yourself because it's going to be a challenge. Let's look at the second week. What challenges do my Gemini friends... Ooh, that one flew across the room. Face. this Mercury retrograde during the second week. That's the 10 of Wands. 10s are an ending and a beginning. Wands about that inner fire. The 10 of Wands usually has a man that is holding 10 wands in front of his face, and he's trudging up the path to go to market. During the second week, you're going to be missing a lot of things. The continuation of information is going to really be a challenge because you're not fully comprehending and fully seeing what's right in front of your face. Also, because we are dealing with that willpower, you may find that you're getting exhausted near the middle of the week, or the middle of the second week, so it'd be the beginning, middle of November, that you're starting to get exhausted from working so hard on remembering things. So again, taking that time to be kind with yourself. Let's look at the third week. What does the third week hold for my Gemini friends? Angel de Nuit, the angel of the night. This is a deck-specific card, and some decks do this. They'll create their own card. The Angel de Nuit talks about the change of coming out of the darkness. It also talks about trusting in yourself and that you've got this, which is true. You've got this. We've been through countless Mercury retrogrades. It's something we can do. But the third week, what you're looking at is that you need to start to come out of your shell. That knowledge piece will start to fall into place. Come out of your shell, and this is definitely the time, as the Angel de Nuit talks about, that things are shifting. It's time to step into the light, step out of your darkness. And that's really what the third week's going to be looking like. And that's exactly where these double threes are going to be flowing and going quickly. You'll find that at the end of this, things start to really fall into place for you. Let's look at what supports my Gemini friends can use to overcome that first week and the challenge of retaining information. I love this card. Such a great card. It's such a happy card. The Star. The Star is the 17th card in the Major Arcana. It talks about our hopes and dreams. More importantly, though, on this side, if you look at the card, and this card doesn't show it very well, she does have her body and then a hand in water, but the traditional card, the one that Pamela Coleman Smith made, the woman has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. She also has water jugs where she's pouring water into her intuition and onto the land, or the water and the land. So she's she's sending energy to the physical part and to the intuitional and spiritual part. Balancing, grounding, and making sure your energies are flowing will help tremendously. And making sure that you, like I said before, that you're nurturing this. You have to nurture yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. Allow that information to flow in other ways than in your head. You're going to have memory in your heart and in your passion. Your heart and solar plexus will come in and really help out. Those 2 chakras are going to be really important for you during this first week because your mind is not going to be functioning as well. Nurture yourself. Make sure that your energies are flowing properly, that your chakras are clear as you can make them. Ground yourself. That will help. When you take that healing moments for yourself, it resets and recharges you for the challenges to come. And this is not an impossibility. So if you're in school, don't give up and say, oh my God, I'll never remember. You just need to trust in yourself. And like I said, ground, clear your energies, give yourself some time to nurture yourself so that this does make more sense. Let's look at the second week. What can my Gemini friends do to overcome the 10 of Wands in the second week? Ooh. You and your jumpers this time. We have the Six of Wands. Sixes are about balance and communication. We already know that communication is going to be a challenge. But that balance piece continues on. And balancing not only that physical and spiritual, but that passion piece. That passion versus knowledge. If the knowledge is regarding your passions, you need to balance that out. Like I said, if the books are really struggling with you and you can't remember that information, you can try and figure out ways to add extra coping strategies and extra tools. Try and communicate with yourself in other ways, because the traditional forms of communication will not be there. And then with it, jump the Seven of Swords. Sevens are a challenge card, yet they're usually victorious. Sevens are actually a lucky number. They're not unlucky like popular culture. The Seven of Swords, swords are about that knowledge piece. The Seven of Swords talks about trying to get away with too much or stealing. Usually it's a man that's stealing 5 swords from an enemy camp. You need to take what you can from this situation, however, knowing that this is a very temporary situation. Take what you need, but like I've said before, give yourself extra tools so that you can retain all of the knowledge. You write stuff down, and even if you don't understand it, you can go back. Make sure that you're critically thinking about the information that you're receiving. That's going to be an important piece too. All right, let's look at the third week. What can my Gemini friends do to overcome the challenges of the third week as they step into the light? I love this card, the World. She's the 21st card in the Major Arcana. She's known as the Dancer, and she talks about that ending and a beginning. You need to celebrate all that you've been able to achieve this far, because it's going to be a challenge. Mercury retrograde always is, because it impacts every aspect of our lives. Stepping into the light will be important. During that third week, you may want to look at doing a lot of cleansing and a lot of clearing of space, clearing of energies, because the energies are going to be really confounded and discombobulated over the first 2 weeks of the 3. Do some really stepping into the light. Nurture yourself, love yourself, draw that energy down. Even if you can't hear them, bring in the angels. Do those things that really make you feel good, and give yourself extra time to do it. Clear all your crystals, clear your house, smudge your house. Those type of things will help make you feel better, and it will really support that third week. All right, let's look at what the main support my Gemini friends can use to overcome these 3 weeks. The Five of Pentacles. Fives are about challenge and struggle. They always are. Pentacles are about growth and abundance. The Five of Pentacles talks about kind of being lost and isolated, which is not always necessarily a bad thing. It's not the loss part, but that withdrawal piece. Make sure that you are connecting into yourself, but maybe give yourself some time away from the general public. Limit the amount of space or amount of time you spend out in those larger spaces. Those energies will impact you, and you're going to find that it really causes a bit of mayhem with that retention of knowledge and also that exhaustion factor. You'll find as this clears up and you start to cleanse and you start to step into the light, that's when you can step into more general spaces. Don't be surprised if things like if you're going into a mall or something that is heavily populated, that you kind of feel a little bit unwell. Let's look at any more information that will help my Gemini friends through Mercury retrograde. Four of Pentacles. Fours are about stability and foundation. We have yet another pentacle. That the Four of Pentacles talks about that foundation that you've created. It's created stability. We already knew that we were looking at that next step. The world has really confirmed that here. You have the stability and the foundation for this next step. You just need to calm these energies, and the first 2 weeks are not going to be the 2 weeks you do it. It's the third week. That's going to really help you through Mercury retrograde. All right, let's look at what your shadow self wants to add. The Moon. It's a beautiful card. Now the Moon is the 18th card in the Major Arcana. And the Moon talks about those mysteries and unknowns. And of course, Mercury retrograde has a lot of mysteries and a lot of unknowns. We can't control that part. However, what we can do is embrace that light. The Moon reflects the sun and creates a light and a pathway for us. And it's going to be following that pathway through the first 3 weeks. The angel of the night needs a light and is going to step into that light, and the Moon is going to help. Those mysteries, that connection that the Moon has to the goddess will all help out. Right, let's look at a blessing. What blessing do we have? Well, you get 2 again for the price of 1. They both jumped out. Brother Raccoon, a safe place for you to go. Goes back to that stability. Things may feel really funky, but you have a safe place to go. And that safety and stability will really help. I'm not even going to pronounce this. Something land, the Princess of Time. The time has come. Time to act. It's a beautiful card. That time is coming. Know that when we're at the tail end of Mercury retrograde, that's when you're going to find that peace to pull yourself out. And even some of the chaos and kind of chaotic energies that have been building, especially with Halloween coming in here, will be really aggravated over the first couple of weeks. But you're going to be able to have that fresh start at the end of Mercury retrograde. You're going to be stepping in to that new space, and that's going to be very exciting for you, Gemini. And you're going to find that it's going to be a platform for much more greater things. For those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on these cards. This is a group reading, however, I drew these cards for my Gemini friends. What further information do they hold for you? Like I said, this is a group reading. If you're looking for something more personal or specific, you can follow the link below and schedule a private reading with myself. For those who are interested, I will be running online, introductory, and interactive classes on Zoom over the next couple of months. The first class is on November 11th, where I'll be running my Introduction to Angels and Archangels class. Then on December 9th, I'll be running my Introductions to Connecting, which is a channeling class. If you're interested in both or either of these classes, you can find out more information and register on my website. Below, I've put a link to my classes page where you can go there and directly find out more information. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the Mercury retrograde has in store for you. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I will continue to create more fun, dynamic, and insightful videos for my zodiac friends. If you have any thoughts or ideas, please leave them below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm gonna go next, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you like this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Gemini friends.